Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel.
Hi, welcome back to A Space for Change. I am Dr. Liana Lorenzo Cervelli.
And I'm Katrina Lorenzo, licensed marriage and family therapist. So today we have two topics that we're going to cover.
Yes. Okay, well, which one would you like first? The show?
Sure. That's fine.
Let's just get right into the fun stuff.
Because last time we ended with the show, so this time we'll start with it.
Yeah, the fun stuff. Okay, so the show is Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, right?
Finally back on.
I don't remember which one.
Yeah, it finally premiered.
It's our guilty pleasure. Yes, finally. And they didn't disappoint.
No, they did not.
Okay, so what topic do you think is like a strong topic to chat about?
Well, I think there's so many different aspects of it. There's one I think that we felt a certain way about.
Dorit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which queen favorite? If you don't watch,
she's back better
watch.
than ever.
Yeah.
She's an icon.
Thriving.
So the topic at hand being
Divorce.
Announced divorce.
Well, separation.
Not divorce, separation from PK. But what struck us, I think, as both therapists and you as a mother, parent, was the decision that she and her husband made to not include the children, or at least make the children aware of what's going on.
Right. So a little background, like they've been together for, I don't even know, how many years?
9, 10?
9, something like that, married. They have 2 young children, and they decided to separate. They discovered is an alcoholic. He is in the journey of becoming sober, and they decided when they had clear conversations, wasn't working out, let's separate and see what happens. So they decided to not tell their young children. I don't know the ages, but they are young.
They said 10 and 8, I think.
There you go. So
I wanted to get your perspective first as a mom and a parent. Like, do you agree? And of course, there's no right or wrong.
Right.
But it's just interesting to us because I believe we have the same opinion. So I just want to hear your thoughts first as a mother, parent.
Okay. So, disclaimer, like you said, there's no right or wrong way. Like, each parent can do what they feel like is a fit for their family, which is obviously what they did. Yeah. Personally, as a mother, I'm not going to put that in to manifest for myself, but in that situation, and you don't know until you're in that situation, obviously.
Right.
But I would like to think that I would have very clear and direct, transparent conversations with my children, especially if it's 8 and 10, especially with a 10-year-old. Like, if that was my daughter's the oldest and she was 10, I would do it. And also, like, you don't have to give, they're kids at the end of the day, so you don't have to tell your whole truth, right? But to some degree, I think they deserve that. Because you never want them to grow up and be like, well, this was kept from us, right?
Right.
Whether they stay together or don't. Now, and also it's like, because it's a secret. Because he has like an apartment. He's not living at home. They stay at the apartment.
Yeah, and that's the thing. She says that they say daddy's working or something.
So that's where it becomes a little tricky for me. Because then you're doing a lot of repetitive lies every week or however often they're staying at their dad's house. So that builds up. And then as a parent, how do I want you to trust me if I'm essentially lying to you versus being honest?
Yeah.
It is hard, I would imagine. I can't imagine it being an easy conversation. But
no.
To answer your question, as a parent and as a therapist, that would be my professional advice too. I would encourage them to challenge themselves to have a conversation with their children. Now, how would you do it as a therapist?
Yeah, no. First, I'd want to understand, like, what is the reason behind wanting to keep this away from the kids? What are you trying to achieve here?
Right. Is it more that difficult for them to acknowledge it, or are they worried about their kids? Like, is it them avoiding, or is it they're trying to protect their children?
Right. And my thing is, like, give kids more credit. You know, like, your daughter is almost 5, and, like, she's very with it.
My kids are so with my 1.5-year-old's with it, and especially my daughter.
Like, she picks up things and asks questions, so I can only imagine an 8 and 10-year-old.
Right.
So, yes. So my bias would definitely get in the way in the sense of me being like, but why?
But why?
So I'd have to check myself there. But yeah, I would encourage them.
Right. That's the thing. And like, I'm always honest with my clients too. I'm going to say like a as your therapist, this is what I encourage you to do. Of course, it's your life.
Yeah.
And you do what you're comfortable with.
Totally.
But that's my job to tell them what I think is,
yeah,
going to be the best for their growth.
And I don't know about you, but I know, like, for me, like, case by case, client by client, the ones I have the strongest rapport with in terms of, like, I have years with them, where there is, like, a different rapport from the ones that maybe I've been seeing for a month, where it's
absolutely.
like, listen, I hear what you're wanting to do, but I'm going to give it to you straight.
Yes, I'll be like, don't be mad at me, but
like, do you really?
Yeah, it's a soften it as a joke.
That's funny.
Or I know you're over me, but because sometimes it becomes.
I'll be like, I know you may. What do I say? I'll be like, I know you've heard this many times before,
right.
but yeah, I think it's important. I think transparency in any relationship, whether that be parent-child, two spouses, siblings, it's important to have transparency and open communication.
I also think we could talk personally from our parents. You were what, 3? I was 7.
So you could talk more on it. I don't recall much.
And like, I don't know if they separated. I don't remember that. I just know the discussion for the divorce, and they did sit down. Obviously, it's different because there's a finality to that, right? Now your life's gonna change, but that's the thing. Their life did change already in the show too. Like, the dad moved out. And So I could just say from personal experience, I appreciate my parents sat me down and had a conversation with me, and they wanted I had opinions in it, and they asked me questions. They didn't just tell me. They asked me questions. And
how are you feeling about this? Let's have a conversation as a family.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, I think if you're 3, like, in your situation, like, that looks
I was just like, 2 different homes.
Yeah, like, you're almost thrown into it. But for me, I appreciated it. And the way my parents have always co-parented and went about their divorce. And we're very fortunate. That's not lost upon me. But yeah, so that's just my hot take on it. I got it.
Okay, so another topic from the premiere that stood out was the whole dynamic of Kyle and Dorit. So, as they informed us, they're still not good. They have the little falling out rift, if you will.
Right.
And with that being said, Kyle decided to text PK with the news of their separation, but didn't text Dorit.
Yeah.
That blew my mind.
Kyle's always been our favorite. I'm so sorry. If you don't watch Housewives, watch it. You're going to be lost.
We've already made disclaimers.
But, yeah, she was always my favorite. And
not mine.
What a shift. The point is without a doubt.
Well, I just have to pause. Dorit is finally saying what LVP.
The manipulation.
So it's like justice for Lisa Vanderpump.
Justice for LVP.
But anyways, like you said, you're neither here nor there. So if you're in that situation where you're in a tense, weird spot with your good friend, find out through media that she and her husband are separating, and you're like, we're not good, so I'm just going to text her husband.
Yeah, okay.
Like, would you do the same, or would you, like, what would you do?
Mean, what would I do if I was the friend that found out in the media?
Yeah.
Like Kyle's position. Without a doubt, at that point, I think there's something bigger that's going on, bigger than us and our little rift that I don't even know. It's about nonsense. Clearly to them it's meaningful, but in the grand scheme of things, like a divorce, a family breaking apart. I keep saying divorce. I'm so sorry. Separation, though, like for them, for the children, the family as a whole, that's a lot that they're coping with. There's alcoholism in it as well. Like, there's so much that their family's going through. And as a friend, like, which she was privy to, right? I think Kyle was privy to it. I believe so. Anyway, the point is that you're privy to this intel, you put your shit aside and say, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to work past that eventually one day, if that's your intention, then, this is bigger than you. And I would have definitely let them both know. Because to be clear, Kyle's friends with her husband as well. So,
yeah, I just found that absolutely mind-boggling.
Yeah. Also, I wouldn't be in a situation where there's a tense thing going on with your friend because I love to communicate. The therapist in me, I am a big communicator.
You're a big confronter.
Yeah, because yes, it could be uncomfortable, but like it's more uncomfortable to sit on that and for my mental health. So we're gonna work past this. We're gonna get it out there. And not everyone's like that, but
I'm definitely not like that.
We all know it's okay. I'll confront for you. But we all know know that I must release it. As
you can't handle it.
No, it eats me alive.
Yeah, your eyes like do that wild thing, and like you just can't deal.
So but that you know what? If I confront something with you, it's because you mean so much to me in my life that you care. Worth it. You know, because I don't care. I'm not gonna
waste your energy.
Yeah, but so yes, if I were Kyle, I would have absolutely reached out to Dorit, even if we're not in a place that you didn't feel comfortable sharing that with me. There's a reason Dorit didn't feel comfortable sharing that with her.
Right.
So let's pay attention to your role in this and not play the victim during her divorce that she didn't come to you.
No, absolutely.
Just my hot take.
Like at that point, don't text either of them.
Right, yeah. Like it's shady if you're gonna do it to only text the husband that you're friends with, but through his PK,
life. And it's like,
honey, PK
I love
be
saying
fine.
His name like
Let's
that.
be clear, they will each be fine.
Yeah, but like, him and Mo, yes, Mauricio, Kyle's
husband,
still husband, because they're not divorced either,
separated.
We're in Miami,
partying
at a pool party, with the DJ.
You see?
So they're fine. But the point is, like, also, I'm such a loyal person that I can't envision myself texting my friend's husband, even if I'm in a bad spot with her, and not her.
Right.
I just can't imagine that. Because I wouldn't want that done to me. I'd be like, are you sure?
No, I wouldn't. I'd be unwell. Like, I wouldn't be able, I'd probably be asking you, like, I should contact her, right? Like,
and if you came to me and was like, should I text PK? I'd be like, only if you're going to text Ree, otherwise don't waste your time. That's weird.
So
I'd be like, that's weird.
You know, we're coming off a little judgy. Let's reel it in.
That's my opinion.
This is, we're not in the therapy room right now. Like, we're allowed to be,
it's conversational.
And our thoughts.
We're not in a therapy session.
Yeah, and you're right. That. But
you're always giving disclaimers. It's like, this isn't my client.
You're not my client. But, so, right. But, no, absolutely, I thought it was not okay on Kyle's part. And, like I said, it's bigger than
just loyalty and respect goes on.
It's bigger than what you guys are going through because they were upset about, I think, silly little things.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm obviously not in the friendship. It's what
Oh my gosh. Just sorry to segue. I know this wasn't on the docket. Did you watch Shrinking?
Not this week. It was oh my god, today's Thursday. It came out Wednesday.
Thursday. So no. But, yeah, you're right. I watched it today. This morning with my coffee.
Did watch last week. So
oh, okay. Well, the reason I bring it up is because the Jason Segel, I love him. Love his character so much.
So funny.
Which I can't. Jimmy, yeah, that's his character. Told his daughter, just because your mom died, you're grieving, doesn't mean, he's talking about her friend Summer, the one, that other people don't have their lives going on as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Spoiler alert for me, but.
Oh.
It's okay.
Well, that's not a significant part of the episode. But that's a good point. It's like, whatever is going on, there's always something else.
Right, like everyone is going through something.
Yeah.
Not the same magnitude, maybe, but, everyone.
It differs,
Yeah, it has something going on in their lives, right?
Yeah. No matter the magnitude, you could feel it differently. Everyone feels things differently. I don't think
anyone's just like cruising, all the time. So, to some degree, like, it could be so minuscule. Like, what are you wearing for your Christmas photos in 3 days? Stressing. Or, obviously, like, just days ago, last week, a loss in the family,
right.
So it's just, it's just stuff's going on to people all around us all the time.
Absolutely. Life is lifing.
Right. And I think we're lucky as therapists, we get to tap into that. We're very aware of that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not so sure everyone else is.
Yeah, I love how we could talk about something so silly as like Bravo Housewives and tie it to like real life. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah. But so Shrinking, Jimmy. So
you have to watch the episode.
He's
but
the
I
therapist,
just
so
it was just a line that correlated.
No, and I think that's truly like wise words to live by, like to remember, to keep that in the back of your mind, because you never know what someone's going through.
Yeah, take a beat. People are experiencing their own things.
Yeah,
but okay.
Check in with that.
What?
Check in with that.
Check in with what? Who's checking in with what? Oh, yourself. Like check in.
Exactly. We're so tired. We gotta stop filming these at night.
We gotta stop telling everyone we're tired.
Yeah.
It's just so... It's not even that late. I'm just so tired.
We can edit it. Okay.
So another topic that we wanted to talk, especially with Thanksgiving, Christmas, all the holidays upon us.
I love the holidays.
We want to talk about certain things it can bring up. And us being Hispanic, Latinas, a lot of the things we hear, a lot of things I know friends and other family members here could bring out certain triggers. Like the phrase, it's a lot of memes. It's a lot of memes.
That's comforting.
The phrase like "y el novio," like and the boyfriend,
or
like it's a lot of food on the plate, or like where are you eating? And it's like, well, which one do you want me to do?
Yeah, do I have to much cheese or not?
Do I go to the brie or not? But anyway, so we want to talk about that. Let's have a conversation about. A conversation about that. Your coffee. Okay, so have you ever experienced anything along those lines? Any triggers? I feel like I know the answer, but have you?
I don't think.
No. I have an answer. The answer is no.
Well, I might have, but it might be like so far down the line that I don't recall.
That's good that if you don't remember. Did it affect you? So I think you don't have any.
Not that I can remember. I'm sure there are. I just currently, I've been with my husband now a good amount of time. We've been together 14 years, 7 years married. So no, that I can remember, no. I'm sure they asked me, when are you having a kid or when are you getting married and something. But no, recently, to answer your question now.
Not recently, just never.
But I can recall. Maybe it's just like no sweat off my back, I shut them down.
Good for you.
No, but that is triggering. I could respect that. I could acknowledge how that's, and actually, I don't know if I already have or if I've been wanting to. That's an idea for a blog I've had because I'm big on this. So go ahead. I'm an advocate for people minding their own business.
Yeah, we can co-write it because I thought of the idea as well.
So same thoughts. Not my problem.
Yeah. Well, it's just funny because I don't know if you get this in your age range of clients, but my age range of clients, I have a few clients that, I don't want to use the word dread, but I can't think of any other word right now. Like, maybe aren't as excited about the holidays.
No, I have clients that dread. It's been heavy conversation lately.
Okay.
The holidays.
Yeah, and it could range anywhere of like, oh gosh, this one uncle really triggers me.
Oh, I've gotten a lot of the parents actually.
Oh,
these are women and
I've had
30s and 40s. So it
you see it spans from 20s and up.
And to be clear, they're all Latinos.
Oh, okay. I'm
more mixed. Cuban, I could say. I'm for my
You're
Latinos,
saying the parents.
But I think just maybe culturally. But also it's all I'm getting are my clients that are.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't know how it would be in a different culture.
Well, I have a very good melting pot of clients.
Okay, then there it is.
And it is interesting how the same messages spans across different ethnicities, cultures, religions.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, of just this overwhelming anxiety of the not knowing, the unknown of like, what am I walking into?
Yeah, and that's unfortunate that, family puts those stressors, right? Societal pressure on you, because I would like to think it's like a safe space, right?
You would hope.
So that's what, I'm making for my children, right?
Well, and that's the thing. I wonder if it has to do generationally.
I would think so.
Because as we know, I'm sure many of you know, generationally, like our parents and grandparents, they're just not as in tune. I'm trying to be so cautious.
Just say it.
They're not so in tune with how words
matter.
Can have just an effect. And like, you know, we hear things like, oh, that's not what I meant. It's like, whether you meant it or not, you said it. And it made me feel a certain way.
Right.
Oh, well, that's not what I meant, so get over it. And it's like...
Yeah, there needs to be accountability and a learning moment, right? So, like, luckily, like, that's how you break generational trauma, right? And the patterns. And so I know we're doing our part. I have so many clients that are doing their part. So, you know...
Yeah. And that's what's so fortunate is that with our generation, we are breaking that cycle. And we're being more understanding of... everyone's different things, right? Like, okay, this triggers her, so we're not going to go there with her. Or like, and also just like a baseline of respect.
Yeah, I was just going to say, to be clear, you know, no one's a mind reader either. It's our responsibility to, you know, make sure you voice what those triggers are, right? But then that needs to be respected, right? The boundary needs to be respected. Exactly. So, yeah, so the holidays, I guess, could be tricky.
Well, yeah, and also it could bring up a lot of things, whether, like, I've heard, you know, of, like, drinking habits triggering family members, or for my clients, eating habits. I've had a few clients with body image issues and comments about enough being on their plate or too much being on their plate having an actual effect on them. Or... and the boyfriend, I've had a client that identifies as queer. And it's like, well, it doesn't have to be just the boyfriend like that. But it's having heard that so many years after so many years, that's a trigger now. Mm-hmm. So, and people don't understand the effects it has.
Right, exactly. So it's just like respect one another and kind of, you know, obviously I don't want to say just keep it, mind your own business, because you are, if you're family or friends, it's okay to ask questions and, you know, be interested in someone else's life and stuff, but to some degree, you know, like.
Well, we could talk, if you said you've had clients bring it up to you, so what, do you have any coping mechanisms for them? Do you encourage them to do anything if they're faced with something that makes them uncomfortable?
Yeah, well, to be honest within addressing that and just telling them, like, you know, I'm trying to think of an example, but basically I always am pushing, like we talked about earlier, the communication and I say that to my clients. I'm honest, like they have to do their part too. Like no one is a mind reader. So how are they going to learn from it if you're not addressing it? And it's obviously just not their personality to be aware of that, right? Mm-hmm. So I encourage them to calmly have an open discussion about it, saying like, hey, do you mind? I'm not comfortable with this. Or, you know, this is coming off this way. Or it's been a lot of like, where will they enjoy their time during the holidays? If is it with family or is it a family friend and their family? It's been a lot of conversation about that. I'm like, at the end of the day, do what's going to be a tradition that you enjoy with you and let's say their children, and where you can be comfortable for the holidays.
I see. So for mine, it looks a little different because mine are typically in their 20s. Mm-hmm. And they are still very much going to their parents or aunts and uncles and this, that, and the other. And it's like, okay, especially if you're going to someone else's home and you don't have your room to just take a minute in. Mm-hmm. So I always encourage them, like, okay, if you're in a place where you're faced with something that makes you uncomfortable, have a plan. If you need to take a beat and like take a breath, where's the nearest bathroom? Have that in mind. Right. Go in there. Let's do some like deep breaths, scrunch the toes, let them go. Like, just take the deep breath, process it, and then choose how you move forward. Mm-hmm. Whether that's communicate, decide to just pause for the evening, and then have a discussion later on. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's circumstantial, of course. Yeah, like it depends on what's being said too. Yeah, you don't want to always address it in the middle of the dinner table.
Especially if it's something like politics,
exactly,
religion,
on what the
and it's like, okay, let's think about it. Is this going to make everyone else? Because unfortunately, it is a holiday. There are multiple people involved, so you can't just be like leave because it's the whole family,
right?
So it's like, that's where you have to maybe, unfortunately, take a minute and say, okay, how does this affect everyone else in the room? Okay, maybe I'll discuss this later.
Right, definitely. Yeah, it depends.
Also, while maintaining a boundary of, I'm going to switch my seat and I'm not going to engage.
That's the thing. That is something else I discussed about with a few clients too. Like, okay, what's your plan in order to feel comfortable and safe in one situation? So we discussed that. And, so it's good to have these plans set in motion to prioritize yourself and your well-being, mental health wise, or whatever the situation might be.
Yeah.
But I just wish everyone could have a happy holiday,
Yeah. 100%.
Because it is a time to spend and enjoy. So it's unfortunate that this is some people's reality.
Totally. Absolutely.
So in the spirit of being transparent, our ring light died. The plug is too far. I don't have an extension cord. We'll get it for next time. We promise.
You know, I'd be telling you it's okay. So I'm going to give us some grace and saying, mistakes happen.
Totally.
So learn from it and we're moving on.
That's all we can do. So hope you enjoyed this chat.
Yes, we will see you next time. And have a good night.
Thanks for tuning in to A Space for Change.
Bye.
Bye.